Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Mansa Queen. So like I promised, I am bringing you today my crowd pleasing and really delicious shrimp and chicken fried rice. It is so simple. It can be ready under 30 minutes if you have everything prepped. You would love it. Your family would love it. It is that food that you want to serve at your parties, for a Sunday lunch, or just for your family. It is also a very versatile dish. You can use any protein of your choice. So without wasting much of your time, let's get right into today's video. So we are going to start off by cooking our rice. I am using jasmine rice today. I've gone ahead to wash it really well, get off all that excess starch or any dust that might still be on it. And I strongly recommend that you do this the night before, or at least some hours before you cook. Now I'm going to use some coconut milk to cook my rice, and make sure you get the unsweetened coconut milk. You don't want sweet rice, okay? So to that, I am actually using, I think, 4 cups of rice, and with jasmine rice you usually want the same amount of water to the rice. So you're cooking 4 cups of rice, you want 4 cups of liquid. So I went in with my coconut milk and I just topped it up with water to make up the 4 cups. I know every rice is different, but a general rule of thumb for me, which has never failed me, is that when you use jasmine rice, it does not like a lot of water, otherwise your rice is going to be mushy. So to that, I'm going to add some salt to taste, give it a quick stir, and you want to cover that up. By the way, I'm using a rice cooker. If you can use that, you can also do this on your stove top, no problem. So I'm just going to leave that to cook, and that will be it. So here is the next day, and I already went ahead to prep my chicken. You can use chicken breast or the boneless chicken thigh or chicken tenderloins. Any type of boneless chicken would do. So I cut them into thin strips, as you can see, because it's fried rice. Now we're going to go ahead and marinate this. I am adding some garlic powder, and it's going to give a whole lot of flavor. Also complemented with some ground ginger. We're using all dry spices today, of course. And this is my chicken stock, my chicken bouillon. So you can just use salt if you don't use any of that seasoning. It works. Also, I am going to be using some cayenne pepper, as well as some freshly grounded black pepper. I always like to grind my black peppercorns when I'm ready to cook, because it intensifies that flavor. It is never the same as the store-bought. So whenever you have it, go for it. To that, I'm going to be adding some Jamaican curry powder. Now this is optional, but I wanted a little bit of color to my rice. If you don't have this, you could just use any type of seasoning of your choice. And very important, I'm going to be using some soy sauce. Now if you notice, I always use the reduced sodium soy sauce, because it just contains too much salt for my liking, and I don't want it to overpower the rest of the ingredients. So I always go for reduced sodium soy sauce. You can also use the dark soy sauce. I have actually looked everywhere for it. I could not find it at the local Walmarts and all these in my city. Yeah, but you can use the dark soy sauce for an even richer color. So now that's done, I'm going to put it aside. And moving on, I have my shrimps. They're all nicely washed, deveined, but I left the tail on because it just looks more aesthetically pleasing, and just, looks better when you're doing your little presentation when you leave the tail on. So here we go. Again, all the ingredients will be listed in the description box below as usual. I am just going in with the same seasoning and spices that I used on the chicken. So yeah, soy sauce, garlic powder, cayenne pepper, basically just the same thing. So feel free to use any seasoning of your choice. I would just go ahead and give that a quick stir, get it all incorporated, and here we go. Our chicken and shrimp are well marinated, and you want to leave this for at least 30 minutes at least, or a couple of hours. Now this is a rice overnight. See how fluffy it is? It is not sticking together. The amount of water was just right, and you want to make sure that it comes back to room temperature, because when it was done cooking I put it in the refrigerator. So moving on, we're going to prep our vegetables. A must-have in my fried rice is my spring onions. I love me some spring onions. I like the pop of color that it gives to my fried rice, which I only add at the very end, and you would see why I do this. It also has a whole lot of flavor. So yeah, spring onions are a must-have. They're also called scallions. So just go ahead and chop that up like that. They don't need to be too thin. All right. And then I would also need some onion. I'm using the yellow onion today, and I'm only using half of it. So I'm just going to dice them really thinly because we're doing fried rice. So we don't need a whole lot of onion. So just half. Now here I have some cloves of garlic and some ginger. To that, I'm putting it in my mortar and pestle. This is just like a manual food processor, and I just like the texture that it gives when I crush them in that mortar and pestle. So just go ahead and give that a quick crush, and then I add 1 habanero pepper for spice. Now that is totally optional. You can skip that, okay? Now we're going to begin by making our eggs real quick. My kids are allergic to eggs. That's why I am using a separate pan. So in case you're wondering, this is why I'm doing it in a different pan and not the wok that I'm going to be using. So you just need a little bit of oil, not too much, because it's just eggs, okay? And to that, I'm going to crack up 2 eggs for this amount of rice that I'm making. Again, all the ingredients that I use will be listed in the description box, and you can always check that out. So I just go ahead and start scrambling my eggs. You don't want it to be dry, so as soon as they're done, you just want to take that out of the fire. As you can see, my pan is non-stick, so I'm having no issues at all. There we go. It's nice and fluffy, and it's done. I did not even season it because the rice is going to be well seasoned, trust me. Now in my wok, I'm going to be adding some vegetable oil, and I will start by frying my shrimp. Now I start with the shrimp because shrimp does not really release a whole lot of liquid, unlike the chicken. So I like to go with the shrimp first, well marinated, as you can see. At this time, my kitchen was what? Heavenly. It smells so good. Guys, you do not want to miss this recipe. It took me a while to film it, but as I promised, it is right here in my kitchen, so y'all can enjoy. Voila guys, as you can see, my shrimp is nice and done. Shrimp does not take too long to cook. You don't want it to get too tough, so it only takes about 5 to 6 minutes and it is done. Okay, so I'm gonna take that out, and in the same oil I am gonna go ahead and fry the chicken. You're just basically sauteing everything, but it's gonna be well cooked. So there you go. Get my chicken in there, and same process, just keep turning it, and then once it's done, chicken does not also take a whole lot of time because it's boneless, remember, so it only takes about maybe an additional 6 minutes, and that will be it. So keep watching. If you stay here, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying this video, I also want you to go ahead and click on that like button, that thumbs up. It lets me know that you like these types of recipes, and it also helps my videos to reach more people. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more of that vegetable oil and start with the vegetables. And the first thing I'm doing is going with the onions, and here comes my crushed ginger, garlic, and habanero pepper. So you just want to go ahead and stir fry that on medium heat because we do not want garlic and ginger to burn at all. That taste is going to be so awful in your rice. So I'm just doing low to medium heat, and once that gets a little translucent, we're going to go ahead and add some sesame seed oil. This is another must-have. You need that sesame seed oil to get that classic, you know, Chinese rice taste. It is so delicious, and a little goes a long way. Please Do not add more than 1 tablespoon of that. It is too powerful and it might just overpower the whole taste of your fried rice. Okay, now I have here some frozen corn, green peas, and diced carrots. This is what I like to use. I don't like to use the green beans, but if you like that, go ahead and do that. And also you can add or omit any vegetable of your choice, so just make it yours. Okay, some people like to add some shredded carrots instead of the diced carrots, so just do whatever you like. So eyeball it. If it's not enough, add more. Some people like more vegetables while some prefer less vegetables in their fried rice. My kids and I prefer really packed fried rice with lots of veggies. And make sure you taste for salt and adjust all your spices. I added some beef bouillon and a little bit of that curry powder. You do not need a whole lot. And I'm still stir frying on medium heat. I do not want this to burn because it's very quick and easy to make. Now it is time to reintroduce our chicken and shrimp back into our pot. And as you can see, my wok was getting full, so at some point I had to quickly switch it up and use a different pan. So yeah, you want all the vegetables to get well seasoned in that chicken and shrimp mixture. Guys, look at that. This is so beautiful right here. Your neighbors are gonna know that something is really going down in that kitchen, y'all. Trust me. Anyway, so I just create a hole in the middle real quickly, and it is now time to pour in our rice. Remember, our rice is back to room temperature, and as you can see, it is nice and flaky, the perfect consistency for your fried rice. Now the amount of rice you will make, just in case your stir-fried vegetables and protein is not enough, I advise that you add a little rice at a time, stir it up, and if you can take more, then by all means go for more. So sometimes I underestimate my vegetables and then the rice is too much, so I don't end up using all the rice. But yeah, that's a good tip. And on low to medium heat, you want to keep stirring it, stir frying it, tossing around, because this part is really important. This is why it's fried rice. It needs to be well fried. And at this point, I am going ahead to add my low sodium soy sauce. Again, if you have the dark soy sauce, it's going to give you a really dark and rich color. And I also going to add my scallions because they don't need to be cooked at all. I mean, they just need that heat because the rice is pretty much done at this point. My fire, I have turned it down to like low because I don't want it to wilt down. And then I also go ahead and add in my scrambled eggs. And that is it, you guys. Keep stirring it for no more than a minute on very low heat. Turn your fire down to very low heat because you do not want to overcook your vegetables and you don't want to wilt down that spring onion. It's just not going to look good. It's going to have the dark green color that you don't want. So yeah, this is it. As I said, this is that meal that you can, if you prep it ahead of time, you can get dinner ready under 30 minutes. Lunch, dinner will be ready. I love it. It's one of my kids' favorite food to eat. They call it yellow rice, by the way, just because of the color that it usually have, because of the curry or the turmeric that I would use sometimes. So there you go. It is off the fire, and I'm gonna go ahead and plate it up really nicely in my, cute little bowls. They look like bowls, and I love them so much. I think I got them from Ross, if I'm not mistaken. Either Ross or Burlington I got them from. And here we go, final result. Now tell me, who would not want to eat this? Unless you have a shrimp allergy, okay? Or an egg allergy like my kids. But yeah, it looks aesthetically pleasing. It looks really good, and I bet you it tastes so delicious. Very simple, using simple ingredients, under 30 minutes. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, please do. I do have an Instagram page as well as a Facebook page. It is called The Mansa Queen. I will make sure it's always linked in the description box below. You can follow me there. I also do post stuff there that I don't even get to film or upload on YouTube. So that's a good way for us to catch up on Facebook or Instagram. Again, give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Feel free to share with your friends and family. And until I catch you in my next one, I want you all to stay safe. And lastly, I do have a giveaway coming up, so please stay tuned for that. We are at 40,000 subscribers and I can't love you less. Until then, stay safe, y'all. Bye.